We're here now with head football coach Bruce Barnum, and we're going to talk about the Portland State football schedule, which has just been recently released. And Bruce, 11 games in 2015. The Vikings start with the first two on the road, but most significantly, open at Washington State. Always going to be a challenge playing a Pac-12 program. What do you have to do in the preseason to get ready for such a high-level opponent?
It's a good test, Mike, because it forces you to be mistake-free. It forces you to come out good fundamental football, okay, entering a place like in Pullman, Washington State, and then going on to Denton, Texas, week 5. That's a challenge for us, but it's going to test where we're at as far as turning the football over, the mistakes that kill you in a football game. We're going to have to eliminate those, and starting at Washington State will be a good test for that, to see where we're at.
Okay, and then the very next week you jump right into Big Sky play kind of early at Idaho State, and that's a place where you spent a lot of time in your career as a football coach, and that's probably got to be exciting to go back there now as a head coach.
It is. That's going to be fun. Big Sky Conference football game, college football Saturday. You know, there's the parity in this league. But going back to Holt Arena, where I did spend, my kids were born there. Spent a lot of time there, 10 years in Pocatello, Idaho. That's going to be an exciting one. We will be ready for that one.
Okay, then the Vikings will take a week off and come home finally for the home opener against Western Oregon, and then play the Big Sky Conference opener against North Dakota, so 2 in a row at home. And then we get into October and a really interesting stretch later in October. Montana State comes into town, Montana comes into town, and between those two games, Cal Poly. So that's a really tough 3-game stretch.
A great stretch, and obviously we'd like to be going in there up and rolling, hitting on all cylinders against 3 quality opponents, 3 of the top opponents in this conference. So it's mid-season. That'll be the true test of how we're playing as a football team, how we've changed from last year, and where Portland State football is going.
Okay, and then as the season comes to a close later in November, the Vikings will be at Eastern Washington. Some big changes at Eastern Washington as quarterback Vernon Adams has left for the University of Oregon, but that team has been in the top 10 year in and year out, and they're considered our Big Sky football rival. Tough to go on the road and play a program like that, but always a big game as well.
It is, and again, losing their quarterback, I'm sure they took a step back for a minute, but great coaching staff. They'll put it all back on track, and by that time in the season, they'll have it rolling. Our last game of the season, it'll be a fun time to go win the damn cup.
All right, and then we'll talk real quickly about spring football, Bruce, and spring football beginning on March 31st. Tell us a little bit about what your goals are as a first-time head coach here at Portland State for the spring.
We're going to go in 4 weeks, Mike. We will be finished in 4 weeks. We're going to try to have an exact duplicate of what we want to do when they come back in the fall, just to keep reteaching that. So once we hit game 1 over in Pullman, that they're reacting. I want the team reacting on the football field, no thinking, and just playing the game that we all love, and that's why we're sitting here talking hard as we can, discipline, just a good commodity on the football field.
Now, are you going to insert maybe a few changes offensively and defensively to the style of play, things that you want to do? Is that the time to do it?
We'll have some tweaks, yes. We're bringing in a new group of people. We'll have about six new guys on the football field, so it'll be part them joining us, the team we already have, and earning a spot and showing us what they can do. And then offensively, going out, we've been out to Oregon, the other people that run similar offense to what we do. Baylor, those programs, and bringing some of those tweaks, taking a look at them in the spring. Defensively, probably going to simplify things a little bit from what you've seen. New defensive coordinator, Malik Roberson. I like what we're doing over there, but maybe a little simpler on what we're asking the kids to do on that side of the ball. And all that will be looked at during the spring, and then deciding what we're going to go into the fall with.